I want to share a little activity with you today. This is one of my favorite activities, and I'm going to move this out of the way because it's in my way. But this is multiplication match, and the first time I was exposed to this was I got to attend a Making Math Magic training. Awesome group. If you ever get an opportunity to attend one of theirs, if it relates to the level that you're teaching, I highly recommend that you go. And I did drop this in the classroom folder for the material for your classroom work in your Google Classroom, so you can find it there. And if you do make copies of it, I would recommend that you put them on cardstock. I would recommend that you use different colors of cardstock. When you want to make the one set in one color and another set in another color, because they will get mixed up in your classroom if you do not do that. And it's really hard to separate them back out because it's lots of cards. But we're only going to look at a few of them today. I want to, I hope that light's not bad on those. I was afraid of that. Let's see what I can do with that. Where they're laminated, the lighting's going to be rough on us. All right, you can see that that's 2 times 3. So what we do, I'm going to lay the cards out here for you, and there's just different versions, and we're going to look at 2 different ones. And there's actually, I forget, maybe 6 different cards, and the kids will have all these cards all mixed up. And what I did in my classroom, I made these, I called these the headers, and the headers would be a different color. So I would just take the headers from one group and then put them in with another group and just switch them out. But I didn't do that this morning with these. But there's lots of cards when you get to working with it, when you open it up and look at it. But what's great about it is you have different representations for it. As you can see, there's tons of them here. And what the kids have to do is they have to sort them. And they have to put them under the correct header. And of course, we've had conversation about how this is groups of. So this one we would read as 2 groups of 3. And this one is 5 groups of 2. And we've had lots of conversation about that. We've worked with them, we've built them, we've drawn them, we've gone through that CSA model many, many times. And this is just an activity to reinforce what we've taught. Okay, so let's look at this first one. 2 sets of 3. So which one's that go under? Somebody tell me.
2 times 3.
2 times 3.
Thank you. 2 times 3. All right. Let's look at this one.
5 times 2.
Right. 5 times 2, because we've got 5 groups with 2 in each group.
2 times 3.
2 times 3. Thank you.
5 times 2.
5 times 2. See how it's showing the repeated addition model for multiplication? I love all these different representations.
5 times 2.
5 times 2.
It's also a good way to get talking about groups and columns and rows and all that stuff too.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to just make them start thinking mathematically, because I'm really having to concentrate and think.
You really have to think, don't you? You really have to look at it and think about it. I love it. Oops. How about
2
this?
times 3.
2 times 3. So we got 2 rows with 3 in each row, right? Or this is what we consider the array, an array model.
5 times 2.
5 times 2. It says 5 sets of 2.
Here we go to the wood chipper.
5 times 2.
5 times 2. 5 going down, 2 going across.
2 times
2 times 3.
2 times 3. That's just a repeated addition.
2 times 3.
And 2 times 3, which is 2 groups of 3. So like I said, I think there's maybe 6, maybe 7. I can't remember off the top of my head how many there are of different types of headers. And they just mix all the cards up. And what I did in my classroom, I had 4 sets made up. And I had my kids grouped in. This was when I was doing Gen Ed. And I had 4 sets made up. I had my classroom grouped in tables of 4. And 4 different tables, I should say. And we would lay them out and we'd have a race. I'd set a time, okay, go. And they had to work together to get those underneath the headers. And oh, they loved it. They absolutely loved it. And of course, we'd gather them all back up, mix them up, and they'd switch. And then we would, because they like to move, we'd play scoot. So we'd scoot to a new set. And they'd be doing the same old thing, but they just like being able to move around a little bit because they like to move. Okay, so what do you think about this one?
These kind of remind me of that MDC model with the topic, with the titles and then the card sorts that they put with each one of them. I like it.
Yes, I like it. I mean, it was a go-to for me. I loved it. It was a great way to reinforce what I was teaching at the time. And then later on in the school year, it was a great way for me to review. All I had to do is pull those out. We'd play this game and we had reviewed our multiplication. Now, also, they have added to this that we don't have with this set. If you'll notice on my screen on the PowerPoint, they have also included now a story problem, which I love. I love that piece.